Once again, I have broken down the maths on Illuvium Beyond to give you every single last detail on the Wave 2 odds, okay? You will know what comes out of a standard disc, out of a mega disc. I've run through all the numbers for you. Let's take a look. These are all the Illuvatars available. Now, a lot of people are saying that this art feels better than the Wave 1 art. I don't think it's that different. There are quite a few standouts for me. Umbre, Sinelf, Ophisto are three really big ones. I love Monarch, which is down the bottom here somewhere, I think. I'm not sure where it is. Monarch is in this set. It looks great. And I cannot find it. I probably keep... There it is, right there. Monarch look absolutely sick. I love Ebb. I even love Allura. I do... Although I don't think the art's better or anything like that, it's the same artists and everything, I definitely think the Illuvials are really standing out to me. Even like things like M-Joel. It's so good, this set. I can't wait to pull it, especially a lot of the holos. I think they're really going to stand out on this one. So it's really, really exciting. Let's jump into the odds. So first, like before, I've made my chart. Okay, basically what it shows is the standard versus mega discs and the power, the percentage chance you have of getting a particular power. So you can see over here that you're getting 2,000 power in every 10 mega discs. That is unheard of. It was like 1 or 2% in mega discs in Wave 1. So the things you're getting in the mega discs are going to feel even more significant. There's quite a few holos, but more importantly, there's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of rare backgrounds, a lot of rare expressions and things like that. So you're always going to get something different. It feels really good. I cannot tell you enough. Even the standard discs feel really cool. You can see that angle instead of like a really steep decline. And that's because of the odds improvements and things like that. Going across the board, because what happened is even though we like drop tier 1 odds, generally speaking, from like 69% down to 55 or whatever it might be, that happened to backgrounds as well, which means that your backgrounds improved. So there's a lot more tier 2 stage 1s, tier 2 stage 2s, and things like that on the backgrounds, which is making the power a much more distributed curve here. You even have a 20% chance of getting like 1,000 power, and a 10% chance to get your 1,400 power, but your mega disc is about 10 times better than the standard disc, typically speaking. The next thing we're going to take a look at is what actually comes out of these discs. So I've broken it down into tier and stage, and you can see it right here. Blue being stage 1, red stage 2, and yellow stage 3. For tier 1, you've got a lot of tier 1 stage 1s coming out of this, all right? Pretty much 50%, right? Stage 2 and stage 3 are making up some of that 5% sort of range. And then for tier 2, you've got about 10 to 15% on the stage 2 and stage 3. There's no stage 1 in this wave, obviously. And then for tier 3, you've actually got quite a few tier 3s coming in, almost 10%. And then the stage 2 and stage 3 make up the rest of that. Tier 4 is quite low at about 4%, no, 2 or 3%. And then the stage 2, stage 3 are nearly impossible. And stage 5 is pretty much like winning the lottery, right? Standard disc holos, the stage 1s obviously make up the vast majority at 2.5%. But your stage 3 holo is at almost, is about 0.75%. So just over 100 discs to pull one of them. Your tier 2, stage 3. And everything's actually kind of even, especially in the stage, the tier 1, 2, and 3. Outside of the stage 1, tier 1, obviously. But then tier 4 and 5 are pretty much next to nothing again. And megas is actually what you're more interested in here, right? So with megas, for stage 1, you've got like a 2% chance to get stage 1. Now, when I say 2% chance, it's split up amongst the things. So for example, there's 3 tier 1 stage 1s. And if this has 2% on the chart, it means 2% divided by 3, and that's your chance for each of those individual ones, but it's 2% as an overall of that bracket. And as we get to tier 2, your tier 2 stage 3 goes up to almost 40%. So kind of similar to last time, but I am telling you right now, there's a lot of holos, expressions, and backgrounds, which just was not the case in Wave 1. So it is going to feel very different. Tier 3, stage 1, 2, and 3 pretty much all have an even chance in mega discs, I guess, because of the way holos and the power thresholds and backgrounds and things work. They're all pretty similar, which is really interesting. Tier 4 stage 1, you've got almost a 10% chance. So buy 10 mega discs if you really want one of those tier 4 stage 1s, 20 mega discs if you want to get both of them or at least have a chance at it. So that's pretty sweet, and a pretty good chance at stage 2 for that one as well. And tier 5s are still really difficult to get, but you got maybe 2% on a tier 5 stage 1 being the RAM fee, meaning in every 50 mega discs or so, you will hopefully get a RAM fee. And where it gets more interesting is the holo odds. So your tier 1 Illuvatars, you've got even more chance of a holo. This is out of the holo distribution. You've got a lot more chance of it being a tier 1 stage 1 than some of this other stuff. But your biggest contenders here are the tier 2 stage 2 and 3, which have a really high holo rate at about 7.8%, or 8% or so. And for the stage 2 is about 5%. So you've got a good chance of getting the stage 3 links with holo. So hopefully maybe you get all of them if you get enough megas. And then your tier 3 stage 1 has over a 5% holo chance. So that's really exciting. So that's 5%. If you pull that rare slot, it's going to be 5% chance it's going to be a tier 3 stage 1 holo Illuvatar. So kind of like a Riptor. For this, I think it's Ace and maybe Quinks or Wink or whatever it's called. One of the foxes or something. And the tier 3 stage 2 is almost a 2.5% chance. And even a tier 4 stage 1 is about 2% chance. So there's quite a few chances of getting a wide variety of things in holo. But in particular, the tier 2s are going to come out quite a bit. So the next thing we're going to jump into is I've gone through, and you might want to like pause on some of these screens and stop and look at them or whatever we might want to do. But I've put them in order of the pull chances. So all the monkeys are about 70%. Caradulo, 6-ish. Your Archelions are about 2. Your Lynx jumps up to about 10. Your big Lynxes are about 3%. Here's where it starts to get more interesting. Your tier 3s are all really good. Tier 3 stage 1 is about 5. You 5 each of them. Quinks and Lolura are 1.5, which is actually quite low. It might take you about, 80 discs to get your tier 3 stage 2. I like that it's rare and it's sought after, but this is the standard disc, of course. Monarch at about 0.5%, so 200 discs to try and get that. That or Riplance. Mjol and Ebb at about 1.4. So they're not too bad. 100 discs, you might be able to get your tier 4 stage 1. And then Matu is 0.5%, so 200 discs. Umbre is 0.1%, so 1,000 discs in standard disc form. Ramphie is higher, so 500 discs. And then Sin Alpha Nephisto, obviously, good luck. So as we jump onto the megas, you can see the monkeys are at under 1%. It's because you're going to get pretty much like the best monkey possible to be able to pull it. Caradulo, even the rest of your tier 1s are very, very low here. Kukaraf being at only 1% in a mega disc, which makes it, I believe, easier to acquire. Yeah, only just easier to acquire in a standard disc. So the tier 1 stage 3s are actually very, very rare here, which is quite interesting. Doesn't sound right. I think that's right. So they're very, very rare. Your Lynxes are all about the 7.5% mark, so they make up quite a bit of this heat, but your tier 3s are really great. They're pretty much all sitting around 4%. So you have a chance of getting any of them, all right? I'm just going to put it out there. You got a chance of getting any of them. The mega discs have really balanced out that kind of heat. Then you get down to the tier 4s, and they're about 2%. So Umbre maybe 1 in every 50 discs or a little bit more than that. And Ramphie 1 in every 40 mega discs. So I don't have the money for 40 mega discs, but I'm going to try over the course of the 3 months just to get me a Ramphie. Sinalf and 1 in 100 discs, and a Fisto 1 in 300 discs. So still very, very difficult to get. The mega discs are really cool, but you can see how diverse the cast is. Pretty much an equal chance for any of the Lynxes, an equal chance for basically anything, including Matu, up to like Umbre. And then the last 3 are really hard like everything else. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you learned something about the odds in Illuvium Beyond. Let me know down below which Illuvatar you want the most. And please leave a like on the video. It helps more people find Illuvium, and I really appreciate the support.